it wouldn't be the start of a new season for Barcelona without everything from the beginning to the end being a circus, basically. Because if we go right into it, Barca 3, Mallorca nil, away at Mallorca, whatever their stadium is called. The goal scorers being Rafinha to open the account for this season, Ferran, and then Lamine at the end. Where is the first piece of circus action for Barcelona? And it comes actually before the game even starts. It comes actually with what jersey Barca was wearing today. Because they went out today in the 25-26 season with a 24-25 shirt. They went out with a third kit from last season, Barcelona. And that's because Barca didn't announce the third kit for this season yet in time for the start of the new season. And as a result, they had to go out with last season's kit. Just typical Barca stuff. And then we move on to the warm up. Joan Garcia leaves the warm up with a dislocated finger right before the game starts. He gets patched up. One of the reports said that it wasn't, put back into place. They said it was reduced. How do you reduce a dislocation? Did you just, put it back a little bit into place? Whatever that means. But once again, typical Barcelona. But if we go into the actual game, Barca 3, Mallorca nil, like I said, Barca actually started pretty strong. There was a lot of attacking actions. Mallorca could not see the ball whatsoever. And there was just a lot of players for Barca to get past because Mallorca was closing down the area at the top of the box. And it's proven with the way Barca scored the first goal. You see Yamal on the right wing. He puts in that textbook Yamal cross into the back post from the right wing. Rafinha attacks it and scores and opens Barca's account. That was overall a very good goal from Barcelona. It took, obviously, individual brilliance, I guess, to make that happen. But Barca opened the account, and a good start from them. Then we move on to the second goal. Because what happened for the second goal was a player headed the ball out of the Mallorca box. I guess he got hit in a way where, he felt pain in his head. He went down like he just got attacked and, had his cranium torn apart. And everyone on the Mallorca team, including the goalkeeper, was expecting the whistle to blow, but they didn't actually stop playing. They just were asking for a whistle. Ferran scores a great shot from outside the box, and Mallorca players are complaining. There is nothing to complain about here. The only thing that you can actually discuss here is should the referee have blown the whistle because of a head injury? Now, should he have blown it? You can say so, yes. Yes, you could say so because of the injury that beat to the head. But was it obviously a big head injury? No, there wasn't a clash or anything. It was just a player getting hit by a ball. And, you know, when it comes down to the players in Mallorca, you don't stop playing. You play till the whistle. So they have nobody but themselves to blame for that goal. And of course, people on social media, especially the Madrid fans, they couldn't wait for something to happen. They could go on Twitter and just start crying before their game even happens. Madrid season hasn't even started yet, and they're already crying. That's typical. Then it becomes intense. Then it becomes like just chaos for the rest of the first half. A player gets his first yellow card in the 24th minute for an argument. Then he gets his second yellow for a pretty rash challenge on Lamine Yamal at the top of the box and gets a second yellow there. That's his red card, and that's Mallorca on 10 men. Play goes on, play goes on. Murici, with a very high leg, actually, with a very high foot that I'm pretty sure his cleat scrapes ahead of Joan Garcia. He initially gets a yellow card, and referee goes to VAR. It changes it to a red card, and that's Mallorca now with 9 men on their first game before halftime. And at that point, everyone in the Mallorca stands were crying. Madrid fans were rampant on Twitter. They couldn't wait to start crying before their season started. And I mean, that was just a stonewall red card. The way Murici went into that challenge, I mean, that's just nothing but a red card. The issue then arises when Rafinha he goes into a very dangerous challenge. I personally think should have been a red card, but it wasn't one of those red cards where the player's cleats are clobbering another player's legs. It was just a very dangerous challenge with the way Rafinha went into it, catching the player's standing leg. He got a yellow for that. I think it should have been a red card, but Barca going to halftime with a 2-0 lead and the opposing team having 9 men. What's interesting now on a tactical standpoint, right at halftime, Olmo comes on for Fermin Lopez. Now, I'm not saying Olmo had a very good game or anything of that note, but the issue arises with Fermin is what can you do as a starter in this team, especially when a lot of the La Liga games are going to be against smaller teams that are not afraid to, you know, be compact in their own area, essentially park the bus. Fermin is not a player that would actually offer a lot of solutions in that regard because he is a player that is very good at attacking space. His ball striking is unbelievable, but when it comes to his technical ability in tight areas, it's not quite there, I guess, yet. But the point is that as of now, regardless of the performance, Olmo can offer more in these types of games, especially. And I think he should have started. He was a bit better than Fermin in the second half. More attacking actions happened with him. Of course, that's because Mallorca had 9 men, of course. But the point is that Olmo is way more involved, way more comfortable on the ball with pressure on him than Fermin. Obviously, he's not the goal scorer that Fermin has proven to be, especially at the end of last season. But I think that we're going to see almost starting next game because of that. Overall, defensively, I think the high line worked very well. Uh, in general, I think Araujo had to cover a lot for De Jong and Eric Garcia. I don't like them two being on the same side, in my opinion, because there's just too much pushing forward from them, and there's not enough defensive coverage from them. And then as a result, Araujo has to cover a lot. Jean Garcia, by the way, he was immense today. Like he didn't have much to do, but he commanded his area. He came off his line with pure confidence, and that's exactly what you need from a goalkeeper playing for a club like this. No more Ter Stegen, no more goalkeepers who are scared of the ball. Get Garcia in there, get a real person defending the goal, and watch what happens. He proved it today. He was immense, even though he had a dislocated finger at the start of the warm up, and he proved to be a great signing so far for Barcelona. Overall, Rafinha with a good performance, Pedri with a very good performance. I'm gonna say one more thing. The midfield without Pedri is lost. If Pedri doesn't play, Barca has essentially no midfield. De Jong cannot hack commanding a midfield by himself. It cannot happen. Without Pedri, the midfield is lost. Gavi came in and he was very good. He immediately came in and found a very good over the top pass to Yamal, and then of course Yamal drives it in almost off the post. Unfortunate for that not to be a goal. But the point is that Gavi came in and he is looking on fire since preseason. Gavi hopefully he can have an insane season once since that ACL injury, and so far very good from him. The main man, of course, of today's game, as per Yamal, of course, he started the game very well and he ended it very well. In general, he wasn't that unbelievable in the middle of it, especially in the most part of the second half. But once he got that goal, of course, his rating went up, and then of course, that was it. The Yamal goal, like I just talked about, it was a great goal. Yamal, I mean, he got pissed off by somebody, and then I guess he wanted to, get back at him, so he scored a crazy goal at the top of the box. But overall, it wasn't really the convincing performance you want from Barcelona. Once actually Barca made it 2-0, Mallorca went down to 9 men. There was just no more intensity. The players really thought it was. They felt it was like the game's over because they had a 2-goal lead, and it wasn't even a 10-man Mallorca. It was a 9-man Mallorca. So it was pretty lethargic. It was pretty passenger like the way the players were moving around, and there was nothing, you know, traditional Flick from this performance. Hansi Flick, a traditional Flick team, would go for a 10-goal thrashing in this game. It wasn't the case. Yes, it's the the reasoning for that may be the sharpness because of the summer break and also the fitness, but overall as a performance, nothing unbelievable. What they did was get the 3 points away. That's a good start overall. Performance wise, nothing to be doing backflips over, but nice to get the 3 points, and that is the first game for Barcelona for this season. So 3 points. Let's see how Madrid and Atletico Madrid fare. I think they both play tomorrow. Maybe one of them plays Monday. I'm not sure yet, but good start. Hopefully they return to the Camp Nou ASAP because there's going to be a lot of away games to start the season since they can't make it to the Camp Nou in time. But overall, good start, and let's see what they do in the next game.